What is up, guys? Welcome back to another Shift for Success. In today's video, I'm going to talk about video editing software and what you should use, and the two different softwares that I use mostly. Now, first, obviously, Final Cut Pro, which is a beast of an editing software. It does many things, but I feel like Final Cut Pro is a little difficult to use at times, mainly because your presets are over here, and then your effects and transitions and stuff are hard to access. It's a very complex software with many different layers inside the software to look at, which is good if you're going to do some serious editing. But for light editing, I found a new software. Well, not new. So I was in the training industry for 10 years prior to my current job, and we did a lot of video editing, and the software that we used was Camtasia. And so I have 10 years of experience using Camtasia, which is probably some bias, but it's a little bit easier to use than Final Cut Pro, especially if you're just getting started and want to make some easy light edits to your videos with some different effects that aren't so complicated to try to figure out like it is here in Final Cut. So I'm going to switch you over to Camtasia. We're going to talk about things I like about Camtasia in just a second. Because the things that I like about Final Cut Pro are all the options that you have. You can go in and tweak your audio 100%. Like making audio adjustments, you have so many different options right here in Final Cut, which is awesome, especially if you don't have external microphones and your audio is a little bit less than par. Final Cut makes it good for that. I will say that Final Cut is pretty good when it comes to having all kinds of video effects that you want to add. I will say that I feel like their transitions here are pretty good. It's pretty filled out. But some of them are just a little bit too over the top for me that I wouldn't use. I tend to like your basic fade transitions. And I also do not like the way that they have this set up. I mean, it's nice to see everything that you've worked on, but it does get kind of clunky when you're trying to find different clips and stuff, because it displays the whole length of a clip in here when I feel like it should be more of a thumbnail, right? Because the reality is you should be naming your clips something that is recognizable so you know which clip that you're looking at. So a thumbnail would suffice as opposed to a full-length clip in your media section here. So that's Final Cut Pro. Let me switch over. Let me get you into Camtasia, and I will show you what I like about it. Okay, now, what I like about Camtasia. What I like is everything's super easily accessible and visible on one screen, right? So like my media bin, these little thumbnails, I mean, you could still scroll back and forth over it like this, but the media bin is a thumbnail. It's not the full-length clip sitting in your media bin, so you don't have to scroll for like an hour if you have like 30 clips, right? I also like the annotations feature. I feel like it's more cohesive and easier to use than Final Cut's version of that. Theirs, you kind of have to dig through it a little bit to get there. I also like their transitions because it's as simple as clicking this and dragging it over where you want it. And it makes it easy. It's just simpler design and simpler to use. You can do all kinds of word animations, and you can animate certain objects. If you add an object, you can animate it. You could do cursor effects if you're doing a screen recording. You can do voice narration over your video after the fact if you want to. The audio effects are a little bit more limited than Final Cut for sure, but with the noise removal, the fade in, the fade out, the pitch correction, and the audio compression, you can edit it enough for it to sound better quality. Now, there are interactive things that you can add and different visual effects you can add to your videos and gesture effects. But yeah, I like Camtasia for simple editing. But I can tell you that when it does come time for me to heavily edit something, I will probably use Final Cut Pro for that. But for simple everyday edits, like for a vlog or, I imagine even editing gaming videos would be easy on Camtasia. But for more like demonstrative type videos where you're telling this epic story and you need to do all these crazy transitions and edits, and you gotta edit 500 audio clips or whatever, and you need some voice modulation and that kind of thing, Final Cut's gonna take it home when it comes to heavy editing. But for ease of use, Camtasia for sure. So that's my take on two editing softwares, and I think both are good. But I think for ease of use, go with Camtasia. If you are 110% committed to spending a lot of time learning an editing software and you need to do some heavy duty editing, then go with Final Cut Pro. Anyways, guys, that's all I have for Shift for Success today. I just wanted to go over two different editing softwares that I'm using. I used Camtasia for a long time, been using Final Cut Pro for the last 4 or 5 months, and that's my take. So guys, if you found this video helpful, if you want to pick up Final Cut Pro or Camtasia, let me know that you're doing it in the comments below. Let me know which one you guys prefer, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. We'll see you later.